What is up, folks? Welcome back to the Supplement Copywriting channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over Advertorials 101 and why this style of page is the secret to lowering your cost per acquisition with paid traffic, increasing conversions, and getting a lot warmer traffic and people who have a lot higher buying intent on your sales page without having to be overly hypey and salesy. I love Advertorials. I use them with a lot of my ecom supplement clients because they just are so effective. They're really short and easy to write. They're easy to design. You can split test multiple elements of them. And because they covertly and persuade people without being overly hypey and overly salesy. So that's what we're really going to be covering in today's video is all about what makes advertorials so effective, what is an advertorial. I'll be showing you some examples of advertorials so you can kind of get a feel for it. And then in next week's video, part 2, we're going to be breaking down the essential elements that go inside of an advertorial and then looking at how you can split test and focus on the most important parts of an advertorial to optimize it and have it scale and increase your conversions. So the very first thing that we need to look at, if you're not familiar with them, is actually breaking down what an advertorial is. We've all read them, we've all seen them before, but you might not have even known exactly that you were reading one. So they really are a piece of editorial content combined with advertising, hence advertorial. The big secret is that they look like an informative and educational article, but really they're selling. And they are nothing new. You know, they've been used in print for years. OG copywriters and marketers have used advertorials in newspapers. They still today use them in magazines. And they're not something that's new, but they are something that is kind of coming back around and getting more popular again in the past few years because of how effective they are. As we've seen people kind of move a little bit away from the direct response, the beauty of these is because they aren't as hardcore DR. You still have a lot of the high quality persuasive elements of direct response, but in a gentler, more kind of third party looking piece of content that doesn't feel like you're really trying to hard sell the person and jam a supplement down their throat. Now, like I mentioned, what makes them really effective is they just look like an informative and educational article, but realistically, we are covertly kind of selling them. And it's because more often than not, they just look like personal stories, articles, and viral posts. They don't typically look like advertising. Now, a lot of the times, anybody who's kind of keen to advertising and marketing will recognize what they are pretty quickly, and there are some of them that go in and just go right for the sale right away, and that's totally fine. More often than not, though, they are not directly selling because you can't even buy off the advertorial page. You have to click through to the actual sales page or landing page to be able to buy anything. And this is what I think actually makes them so effective is because you can't buy anything on the advertorial. You're getting people with a lot higher buying intent and a lot warmer traffic that end up landing on your sales page. Those people are there because they're curious. They've clicked multiple different times to get through. And I think that they're just a really easy win for a lot of people in the ecom supplement space. But you'll find that most companies aren't running them. I still to this day see way too many supplement companies that are paying money for ads on Instagram, Facebook, and they're just driving straight to a boring landing page. And it does a very poor job of selling somebody who has no buying intent. They haven't read anything persuasive. You're just taking them from here's the supplement to buy my shit right away. And that's just a really ineffective way to do it because that person needs to be guided. They need to have a really strong sales argument made up in their mind to go from being somebody who's never heard of your brand to pulling out their credit card and wanting to buy from you. And one of the things that's really good about advertorials is because they look like native content, the reader's guard is kind of down. And this means that you can covertly sell the reader on the root cause of their problem, sort of like the unique mechanism of the problem. And then it also makes it very simple and easy to sell them on the new solution that you have, the unique mechanism of the solution, obviously, here. And mainly, we want to focus on informing and selling them to create curiosity and get them to click through to the next page. That's the whole purpose of an advertorial. We're not actually allowing them to buy anything on this page. We are strictly informing and selling them on the ideas and then creating curiosity to get them to click through to the actual sales page. So before I go into what makes advertorials so effective for ecom brands, let's take a look at a few examples. So here we have what's called a listicle, 3 reasons why Dr. Kellyanne's bone broth is on everyone's shopping list. So we have 3 reasons, listicle. They're typically 3, 5, 7, sometimes as high as 9. And then again, we have some authority, Dr. Kellyanne's, and then the product bone broth. and then a little bit of social proof is on everyone's shopping list. So we go through, we have our picture here. Obviously this is our hero image. We have our headline, we have our lead right here, and then we have another image with Dr. Kellyanne in her doctor's coat, more authority. We're building that right there. And then as we get down into it, we start getting into the 3 reasons that people would want to buy Dr. Kellyanne's bone broth. It supports simple weight loss. And then you see right here, the ability to buy, because we've scrolled far enough down the page, pops up for us. Number 2, helps reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. And again, you can see exactly who we're selling to in this. It helps you poop, so obviously great for digestion. You can see through all the images exactly the kind of person that we're going for. She herself is an attractive female. Then this obviously looks like women's feet. Men's feet would be way more mangled on that scale. We have an attractive woman here. And then we have a woman with a slim belly here, showing a smiley face, no bloating, no skin issues, anything along those lines. Then we have our social proof, and you can go ahead and claim your special offer today. So then we have this one, all about curcumin and inflammation in the body. Inflammation, the biggest health crisis nobody's talking about. We have our quote right here. I went from choking down painkillers and Aleve to walking, standing, and even running freely again. So obviously we're using curcumin here to go for a pain angle. We have our lead, which is talking about big pharma. Most people don't like big pharma, so that's a really good reason to kind of throw them under the bus. And our lead, the real cause of pain and chronic disease. So here we're getting to the unique mechanism of the problem, has to do with inflammation. I haven't actually read this one all the way through. Here's the typical things that people are dealing with when they have chronic inflammation. Then we're going to throw rocks at other alternatives. Here's why taking Advil, Aleve, and NSAIDs shouldn't be done. So obviously we're discounting the other alternatives that people would consider taking instead of this. Nature meets science for pain. So this is where we start to get into the unique mechanism of the solution here. The internet search that changed everything. It's how she discovered this liposomal curcumin. Going through, unlike any other solution I've tried before. Then we get down to this. Here's exactly how to use the product. Here's different people's experience and how it changed their life. Here's more proof of it changing people's lives. Social proof. We have screenshots. See, that's the kind of results Amanda wants you to experience. Then we have a bunch of things. Imagine waking up in the morning and experiencing that feeling of nothing. So here we have a bunch of people in pain crossed out. You won't find this in department stores. And then we have, you don't have to make a decision now, 90-day money-back guarantee, apply discount, check availability. So you can't even buy it on the page. We're running out. So this is the basic. We have our basic 2 roads closed, where it's option 1, you stay the same, you suffer. Option 2, you grab this and you do amazing things, right? So then we have we have a 136, and then more social proof down below. So you can see how this kind of goes when it comes to advertorials and the different ways that it can look. So I'm going to pop back over to the Google Doc, and we will continue looking at why they are so effective. So those are just a few examples of advertorials being used for supplements. So why are they so effective for ecom supplement brands? So it takes somebody from cold to a buyer relatively quickly. You have them clicking from an ad to the advertorial, then through to the sales page. You can educate the person without feeling like you're being super hypey or salesy. Also, they're shorter and easier to write than a full-blown text sales letter or a video sales letter. And personally, myself and a few other people I know in the past few years have seen that text sales letters have become much less effective for a lot of supplement companies. And they're easy to design. So because they're easier to write and they're easier to design, you can split test a ton of angles, headlines, leads, and hero images. So a hero image is you're going to have a headline, then below the headline complex, you're going to have the image right there that is attention grabbing for the reader. And then once you find that winning advertorial, you can then make the product page congruent to that advertorial, and you can have multiple different funnels running for multiple different winning angles of advertorials, all selling the exact same product, because you were able to see, oh, we have these top 3 advertorials that are doing very well. Let's make the pages congruent to match that. And now you have 3 different kind of symptoms that you can go after for the exact same product in the exact same funnel that's really easy to write and very simple to design. So when you do all this, what it does is it leads to a lot warmer traffic. People that land on the sales page have much higher buying intent. You have a lower cost of acquisition with ads and increased conversions on the sales page, which are the ideal dream of anybody who's running traffic for an ecom supplement brand. If you can get these 4 things going, you're in a really good place to be able to significantly scale. So there's 4 main types of advertorials that we're going to look at. The very first one is a personal story, someone who used the supplement to resolve a problem. Here we have an example of one of those. This Japanese method sucks all the toxins out of the body. Again, this is a weird attention-grabbing hero image. You can see we have our headline, we have our hero image, and obviously if I had the lead in here, it would just be way too long. So you can see an example here of a high converting headline and then a weird kind of shocking hero image that doesn't make a ton of sense. Over off to the right, works overnight to gently remove toxins. We have this person's foot and then this black patch obviously showing the toxins that have been sucked out. Second, we have a informational, and this usually just highlights a new problem and a new solution. So this is from Beverly Hills MD. If I'm not mistaken, they are owned by Golden Hippo, one of the absolute behemoths of the direct response world. Can collagen help wrinkles or not? So it's just kind of asking a question that's in a lot of people's mind. There is some skepticism in the skincare industry about collagen and its effectiveness. So this is just asking, can collagen help wrinkles or not? And anybody who's interested in skincare and is potentially interested in getting collagen or using something to improve their skin would be very keen to go ahead and read this right there. Then we have our listicle, 5 reasons why doctors recommend this probiotic or something along those lines. This one right here is by a brand named Kachava, 9 reasons why people love the shake. Here's why health conscious people are trying and sticking with this plant-based all-in-one nutrition shake over the years. This advertorial was getting like $4 million in ad spend not that long ago. And it's literally just this headline, this subheadline, a picture, and then 9 reasons why people love the shake. It doesn't have to be that complicated. They don't need to be super crazy. Listicles are a great one for supplements because they are so simple and easy to write. You don't need to have some crazy A-list copywriter on your team. You can bang these out and test them in the same day. Then we have a comparison advertorial. Here's the top 5, She-Legit supplements in 2023. This one right here that I found online, the 5 best greens powders in 2023. It's just literally comparing it. And what ends up happening with a comparison advertorial is that you review all these other ones underneath. Your one is always going to be on the top. It's going to be the highest rated. It is going to be the one that has the most pros and the least amount of cons. It should be a clear alternative to all the ones that are underneath it. But then I don't really like comparison advertorials all that much, really. And that's kind of a topic for another video. I would go with actually the other kinds of advertorials that we have listed here. So informational, story-based, all of those, and listicles are all really easy to write. And I think they're just better. I haven't really seen a comparison advertorial scale super hard. And then last, we have kind of our bonus social proof style of advertorial. So, this sleep supplement went viral. Again, it is mostly about like something being popular, something going viral. All these people are switching to using this because it's such a great supplement, all these kinds of things. Couldn't find an example of it because I needed to whip this video up a little bit quicker than normal. I looked around, couldn't find one, but this is a bonus one. And you'll see these around, 2 million people have switched to using these laundry detergent sheets. Here's why. And then it goes into, a listicle or something along those lines. So that is what I got for you guys this week. Next week, we're going to be looking at the essential elements of an advertorial and split testing them and what you should be looking at split testing and optimizing to get the best click-through rates, highest conversions, and most sales. So I hope this helps. I will talk to you guys next week with part 2 of our Advertorials 101. Take care. Adios.